looking at the claims that that if it's legalized, kids will have less access to it, that you can't overdose on marijuana, and that it'll aid the economy. So first saying that if it's legalized, kids will have less access to it. Well, as I was already talking about, kids already do have access. And if it's legalized, in saying that, oh, that more people will be carded for it. Well, has anyone here ever gone to buy alcohol? Have you ever been carded for it?
Yes.
Yes. Do we typically card anywhere we buy alcohol? Except from like your brother's man or something like that, right? So even if marijuana was legal and kids will be kids will be carded for it, that may stop that. But have any of you guys ever had alcohol and yet not been over the age of 21? Sorry, I guess that's probably not a good question to ask, but it's illegal. Kids still have access to things that are illegal. So saying that just because it will be legalized, more people will be carding for it, they'll have less access, is not necessarily true. So there will still be the ability for kids to have it. So they'll still have the same amount of access, if not more, because now it'll be easier for their older brother to sell it. Second, looking at the idea that you can't overdose. While you can't overdose on marijuana, there's still a myriad of harmful effects. The NIDA, the National Institute of Drug Abuse, I could read it, said that the Drug Abuse Warning Network, DAWN, a system for monitoring the health impact of drugs, estimated that in 2008, marijuana was a contributing factor in over 374,000 emergency department visits in the United States. Okay, so those are visits to the hospital that are based on marijuana. Marijuana has also been linked to causing cancer. NORML, which is the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, says that it's widely suspected that marijuana smoking causes cancer. Studies have found apparently precancerous cell changes in pot smokers. Some cancer specialists have reported a higher than expected incidence of throat, neck, and tongue cancer in younger marijuana-only smokers. A few cases have been fatal. While it has not been conclusively proven that marijuana smoking causes lung cancer, the evidence is still highly suggestive. And according to Dr. Donald Cashin of UCLA, the leading expert on marijuana smoking, although more information is needed, sufficient data has already been accumulated concerning the health effects of marijuana to warrant counseling by physicians against the smoking of marijuana as important. There's plenty of other effects as well, including negative effects on the heart, such as that it can increase heart rate by 20 to 100% shortly after smoking, and that marijuana users have a 4.8-fold increase in the risk of heart attack in the first hour after smoking, thanks to the NIDA research there. And then lastly, looking at how marijuana can aid the economy. One big issue that can go into it is with jobs. The federal standard is that workplaces are drug-free, right? So according to the California Chamber of Commerce, they were looking at the idea of Prop 19, which was the prop to legalize marijuana usage a couple years ago. Prop 19 would create special rights for employees to possess marijuana on the job, but that means that no company in California could meet federal drug-free workplace standards or qualify for federal contracts, which would warn that this alone could cost thousands of Californians to lose their job. So although they would be allowed to carry an ounce of marijuana, by having it at work, they would be liable to be fired for it. And even outside of that, Robert McGinnis, a part of the Family Research Council, stated that even if drugs were legalized, some restrictions would still be necessary. For example, restricting the sale to minors, pregnant women, police, military pilots, and prisoners. They would still provide a black market niche. Pro-legalizers contend that the government can tax the drugs, thus offsetting the social cost of abuse. But history has proven that efforts to tax imported drugs created a black market. Even today, there's ample crime based on the legal drugs. For example, organized crime smuggled cigarettes from states with tobacco taxes into those with high taxes, and such activities are accompanied by violence. So it would eventually be hurting the economy, not only by losing the jobs, but creating a black market for marijuana, a lot like there is now. So in conclusion, it will still be harmful to youth. You can't overdose, but there's still a huge number of problems, and it would not be aiding the economy, it would be hurting it.